Hey everyone, what's up? This is Evo Rainbow McLean for life once again with another movie review and another video. And today is going to be an epic movie review on an epic, phenomenal movie that I love to death. And I'm gonna talk today is Ghostbusters. They are here to save the world, which is the one, the original, the movie that started all, the best one, a masterpiece of one of the greatest movies, one of phenomenal, epic, great movies, great supernatural comedies, my all-time favorite, and this movie is my favorite. I love this movie to death. It's dear to my heart. I grew up with this movie. I just love this movie to death. It's a phenomenal film, and I really recommend this movie. It's definitely the best one of my all-time favorites. Now, I'm not such a big fan on comedies, but if I do top 5, the Ghostbusters is the first one. Second one will be Back to the Future. The third one will be Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. I'll say number 4, Dumb and Dumber, and number 5, Liar Liar. Definitely top 5. But I love Ghostbusters to death. Now, Ghostbusters was actually there was found a sequel. There was a reboot, and now the third sequel came out, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and there's a lot of reviews about the new movie Ghostbusters Afterlife. I have not seen the third movie. I saw Ghostbusters 2016 twice, and I hated it. The reboot, I hated it so much. I'm not really, because I saw there are so many mixed reviews for Ghostbusters Afterlife. So I decided to revisit the original, and yesterday I watched this film once again because I love this movie to death. I love the second one. I have the movie on Blu-ray too, but between the first and the second one, this is my favorite. The second isn't good as this movie. This is the original, the best, and it started all. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. It's dear to my heart. I love this fantastic movie so much. It's a fantastic movie. It's an excellent movie. It's an incredible, great movie. I have nothing but praise for this film. Now, I don't have this movie on VHS. I used to have this movie taped on old VHS tape, on a blank VHS tape. I don't have that movie. I don't have that VHS tape anymore. I don't have 4K, which I can show you with the better pictures and qualities. I don't have any steelbook or laser disc. I don't have that. I'm not rich. I can't afford that. I have 2009 releases. 2009 release. It's not US version. It's the European version. If you don't see it, But this is the back, which is not the US version. I'm fine with it. I don't need it just to fulfill my life. I'm happy with this release. So this is 2009. This is the disc. And of course the Ghostbusters. That's Winston Zeddemore, Raymond Stantz, Peter Venkman, and of course my favorite character, Egon Spengler. It's my favorite character, Egon Spengler, Harold Ramis. But I can show you the back, which is actually better. 3 scientists, professors, from college professors, Peter Venkman, Raymond Stantz, and Egon Spengler, and they are the Ghostbusters. They are here to save the world. And like I said, this movie is a phenomenal, it's a fantastic film, and it's gonna be an epic review. This is an epic review on one of my favorite movies, and between the two, this is my favorite. This is always gonna be my favorite. It's not because of nostalgia. No. Which in this review, I'm going to discuss how Ghostbusters were created, how they were created. I'm also gonna discuss my history, and I'm gonna go with my history. I never saw this film. I never saw this film. This is the first one. I'm talking about the first one. I saw Ghostbusters 2 as a kid. Was actually the first film. And here was the problem. I was fascinated with the film, but there wasn't any title. Because I don't know why I did not put the title on Ghostbusters 2. But was their sign, the sign showed up. I had to find out through the magazines that it was titled Ghostbusters 2, because there is no title. This movie at least has title. So yeah, that's one of the problems. But I saw the animated series on VHS tape. I think it was the first or the second season, the real Ghostbusters. After this movie was made back, which was released on June 8, 1984. They did TV series. This was a phenomenal movie. It was the most highest grossing movie in 1984. And yes, it was the second highest grossing movie. Until Home Alone surpassed the film, but it was the most highest grossing back in the 80s. In the year 1984 was the year for movies. We got A Nightmare on Elm Street, we got Friday the 13th, the final chapter, Beverly Hills Cop came out, The Karate Kid came out, The Terminator came out, Conan the Destroyer came out. 1984 was the year for movies, and of course Ghostbusters came out the same year. And like I said, it's my favorite comedy of the two. It's my favorite, always gonna be my favorite. I just love this movie to death, and I was gonna watch this movie. But yeah, so how this movie was created, how this title worked, how this movie was really existed. So it was back in the 80s, 1981 and 82. Around that time, Dan Aykroyd, I'll just show you Dan Aykroyd, or in the middle, Dan Aykroyd was fascinated with spirituality, which he was writing a project for Columbia Pictures, and he was fascinated with spirituality. He had in mind that he and John Belushi, the brother James Belushi, he and John Belushi are in time and space battling supernatural threats. And he was writing and working this project for Columbia Pictures. And of course, like I said, he had in mind John Belushi. John Belushi was in the mind to play Dr. Peter Venkman. But John Belushi died over an overdose in 1982, so rest in peace. That was really tragedy. So Columbia Pictures hired Harold Ramis. Rest in peace. He passed away February 24, 2014, which is a really loss for the Ghostbusters. Yeah, that's him, Egon Spengler, which he passed away. So they actually went and rehired for the project to help Dan Aykroyd to do this project. So Harold Ramis came on board, and he was helping out to write a script and a story for Dan Aykroyd, which it worked, which is awesome. Ivan Reitman, he did that Nato Lampoon's Animal Party. That I didn't see the movie in which John Belushi was in it, and he was the right choice for the direction. I mean, Ivan Reitman was a fantastic choice for direction. So all three, they get together and they were in an apartment. Only had to find, because I did a few notes. I wrote a few notes about the film because I don't remember everything. But Now I found it. Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and Ivan Reitman, they spent 3 weeks in Martha's Vineyard, day and night. They wrote the script and the story day and night. Now, Bill Murray got the role for Dr. Peter Venkman. This is how the story was. Bill Murray, he made a deal with Columbia Pictures for his movie, which he wrote a screenplay for the remake, The Razor's Edge, which he started filming. But no one in Columbia Pictures was interested about the film. No one cared. That was a 40-year anniversary, which the movie already came out. And Bill Murray wanted to do this film, and he put heart and soul in it. And he asked for financial support for the film, for the making of the film. But like I said, in Columbia Pictures, no one cared. No one was interested. No one cared until Dan Aykroyd offered his help, and yes, he paid from his own pocket the movie that Bill Murray did. He paid him. So Bill Murray accepted, only because of that, Bill Murray accepted the role. So The Razor's Edge was actually the film I never saw, but it was the first film that was released. No, actually, it was the first film before they even filming Ghostbusters, because Ghostbusters was filmed in October 1983 till January 1984. Was released on June 8th in movie theaters in the US. But so Bill Murray flew from New York, after he was done filming Razor's Edge, so to do this film. Now, Razor's Edge was a financial failure. It was a bump. It was domestic bump, box office bump. It was a failure, and it was filmed before Ghostbusters was even filmed, but was released after Ghostbusters. And because of that, Bill Murray was so frustrated and so upset that his movie was a box office failure that he quit acting. And from 1984 till 1988, until he did his next movie, Scrooge, he just quit acting. He left the United States and he went to Paris to study philosophy, because that's what he wanted. He was tired of it. He was so upset. And I read it somewhere last year that he said that this is like 80% of the comedy, but the rest isn't. But I think me and my fans are proud of this movie. Now, Harold Ramis, he knew that the character Egon Spengler, he will be the most fit to do that he will fit the role, so he did it. Besides writing, he and Bill Murray, collaborated once again in the movie. Now, there were only 3 movies that, in my opinion, Bill Murray and Harold Ramis really acted in the same screen. They acted together and they shared the same screen time, and that was Striptease and Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Before that, Bill Murray worked on a movie, Meatballs, 1979, which was written by Harold Ramis. That was the first movie that they did together, but they did not share a screen time together. Then they did Caddyshack, 1980. Once again, Bill Murray had a small role while Harold Ramis was writing a story. Chevy Chase was the main star. Until 1981, they did together Striptease, which was the first movie. That was the third collaboration. Ghostbusters, this movie was actually the fourth collaboration. I think was, of course, I wrote down, but This was the fourth one. The fifth one was Ghostbusters 2. Ghostbusters 2 was the only sequel Bill Murray ever did in his movie career, in his film career. And the sixth movie was Groundhog Day 1993, which was written and directed by Harold Ramis. Now, I have to talk, I brought this up and I have to talk about it. Harold Ramis and Bill Murray, they were great friends. They worked together on movies. They were great friends. Until 1993, when Groundhog Day was, that time Bill Murray and Harold Ramis had a huge fight. Bill Murray wanted the movie to be more philosophical, the subject he was studying, while Harold Ramis stated this is a comedy. And Bill Murray always came out late. He was getting divorced, he was frustrated, and they argue so much between the outtakes on the movie. I read it last night on my phone that Harold Ramis lost his temper. He grabbed Bill Murray, shoved in the fucking wall, and punched him and told him, "I'm gonna do this fucking movie or not." That's just me, but yeah, he actually really shoved him in the wall. And Bill Murray shouted him out. He ignored him. He shut it out. And because of that, their relationship fell out. For 20 years, they did not spoke. For 20 years, Bill Murray treated Harold Ramis like shit, like piece of shit, like piece of dirt he treated him. And I don't like that at all. And as a kid, when I saw the second movie, I thought, because in my opinion, Bill Murray's character was the leader, he was always my favorite. He actually was always my favorite character, but now I more support Harold Ramis. Now, they're supposed to be in the 90s, Ghostbusters 3, Hellbound, but Bill Murray said, "I'm official done." But after Harold Ramis, passed away, he goes for the reboot and makes a small appearance as a fucking reporter that gets his ass kicked. But I wish the actors would do Ghostbusters 3 Hellbound. I really do wish that. But now it's too late because Harold Ramis passed away. He treated him like dirt. If I knew that, I would choose Harold Ramis right away. Harold Ramis' side right away. Because I have nothing but respect to the actor. And I love him. So now I saw a clip in which Dan Aykroyd says Egon Spengler should rot in hell. Why? I don't know. I don't want to hear about it because I don't want to know about it. I will rewatch the movie, but not anytime soon. Probably not this year. But this is actually going to be the first review. Probably, I don't know when I'm going to review the rest of Ghostbusters, but this is actually going to be the first review because I have to talk about this film because I love this movie to death. I want to talk about it. Now, Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, they did a fantastic job writing a story, the screenplay. I did a few lines. Now, before I continue, which I'm talking about the cast, I had to go take this out. Now, so for Ernie Hudson, they actually, Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd wanted the fourth member of the Ghostbusters group. They wanted Winston Zeddemore, that he shows up earlier in the screenplay when they go to this hotel, chasing the onion green ghost, later called Slimer, but Eddie Murphy was on board, but the asshole, he's an asshole. He rejected the idea, he rejected the role. I'm glad that he did Beverly Hills Cop, but he's an asshole nowadays, because his movies sucked. I hate all his movies now, today. I'm not talking about his 80s classics, like Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, 48 Hours, another 48 Hours, The Golden Child, Metro, I have not seen Metro for a while, Coming to America. Those movies I love. Trading Places, I'm not talking about these movies, I'm talking about his new movies that are trash, that I don't care about his new movies. But so because Eddie Murphy, which was a dickless move, he turned down the role. They both the writers wrote a screenplay because they didn't know who's gonna take the role of Winston Zeddemore, and Ernie Hudson came on board, and that's Ernie Hudson. He came on board as Winston Zedmore. For Dana Barrett, Sigourney Weaver, there were like 3 actresses that tried to get a role. I don't know, maybe there were more, but 3 actresses. And I've written down, I have to find them. Daryl Hannah was trying to get the role, but she wasn't accepted. And Denise Crosby, and of course Julia Roberts was also trying to get the role as Dana Barrett. But the studio was actually more interested to see Sigourney Weaver because she had more serious roles. I think she was in Alien before this movie. She was Living Dangerously, I think it was with Mel Gibson. Or was the Year of Living Dangerously, something like that, the title. So they cast her as Dana Barrett. For Louis Stahley, the neighbor of Dana Barrett, which they both live in the same building apartment, was considered the role John Candy, but John Candy didn't like the idea because he proposed the ideas for his character, but studio wasn't interested, so he dropped out. Rick Moranis later got the role as Louis Stahley. So that's actually the cast. So that's actually the cast for we also did got David Margolis as the mayor, which he returned the sequel. Jennifer Anion and Steven Tesh were both female and male Peter Venkman's test object. Jordan Tierney was Dean Yeager, kind of on special effects, Kevin Yeager, but yes, Dean Yeager. And Slavica Jovan, she was Gozer. She was a Yugoslavian actress, but was voiced by Paddy Edwards. You know, her voice was dubbed, her Yugoslavian voice was dubbed by Paddy Edwards. But Slavica Jordan played the Gozer, the Gozerian, Gozer the Gozerian, shape-shifting god of destruction, demigod, you know, Zul, which was servant Gozer the Gozerian, shape-shifting god of destruction. But that was awesome. It was the cast was fantastic. William Atherton was Walter Peck. Environmental Protection Agency, Walter Peck. And that was the main cast. The cast worked. It was fantastic. Bill Murray's performance was awesome. Was fantastic. Harold Ramis's performance was awesome. Dan Aykroyd was awesome. His stunt. And of course, Ernie Hudson was awesome as Winston Zedmore. I love all 4 of them. They are here to save the world. Ghostbusters. They were all 4 were awesome. Definitely, in my opinion, Egon Spengler was the best. He was the brain. Egon Spengler, I'll just show you. Egon Spengler was actually the brain. Bill Murray was the mouth, and Dan Aykroyd was the heart of the group until the 4th members came on board. Their weapons was proton pack. I did wrote down, which I'll talk soon about the proton packs, their weapons. Now the story, you already know, I think that everyone knows already the story, but 3 college professors, they're actually scientists, and of course, like in the back, kooky, spooky college professors. I didn't say that. That's right. That's right in here. I didn't say that. 3 professors are kicked out of university by Dean Yeager because the university stop financing the researchers because they see them as imposters. So Peter Venkman, the head of the group, proposes they should do their own company. So Raymond Stans goes to the bank, takes the mortgage, and they go and buy their headquarters for the Ghostbusters and decide to do their own company, all three of them. So they buy the building, and they make a commercial by starting as Ghostbusters, who are actually researching phenomenal effects, events, not effects, phenomenal events. They were researching phenomenal events. In meantime, cellist Dana Barrett, played by Sigourney Weaver from Alien, Ellen Ripley from Alien, she goes in the building. We see Louis Stally, which he was accountant, he was her neighbor, who always liked her. She sees commercials about Ghostbusters, and then she opens the freezer. She sees a terror dog saying "Zool," and she's scared. She panics and runs out of the apartment. So she goes to Ghostbusters, and ask them. She goes and hires them, which she pays them in front, to hire them to find that phenomenal event. So Peter Venkman goes with her to check her apartment, and I read that when I was writing the notes that when after the movie ended, when the movie was ended filming, Sigourney Weaver, she really had a fire department, and when the fireman shows up and turn off the fire, one of the firemen opened the fridge and says, "Oh my dear, call the Ghostbusters," a reference to her character when Peter Venkman is looking for the refrigerator, says, "Oh, what unhealthy food." He tries to seduce her, but she kicks him out. My God, Peter Venkman was awesome in this movie. In the meantime, they got the first gig. I forgot to mention, Annie Potts did a good job as Janine Mance, as secretary. She was really good. I read that she had to keep when she showed up on the filming. They had no time. She rushed to change herself, in the glasses, in the clothes, and they shoot in the movie. It was because they were because the movie they were shooting it, so they had to do it. But yeah, so how it was, So from the hotel, they go and they call the Ghostbusters because they have a spooky ghost that was Onion Head Ghost, who was eating everything, and they called them, hired them. So Ghostbusters showed up, and there's this old man says, "What, you were some kind of cosmonauts?" No, we're exterminators. Oh my God, I love them in this outfit. They go in this hotel, are looking for Slimer, Onion head ghost. Onion green head ghost, whatever, some kind of cosmonauts. Oh my God, I love those lines, cosmonauts. So they go and in the room they demolished everything in order to trap the ghost, and they use their weapon is actually proton Peck, which is energy-based capture device in trapping ghosts. It fires stream of highly radially protons that electrostatically traps negatively charged energy of ghosts. They have a ghost trap to show ghost trap. And it's a stream of highly radially protons in order to capture the ghost, otherwise it won't work. They use a trap to capture it with the help of their proton packs, which is fires a long electrically stream, which is awesome, very great idea. And yeah, so they kind of look like that, proton packs, but the back, kind of look like that, proton packs, which they're firing stream, the electrically stream in order to capture those ghosts in order. But that was awesome, they capture Slimer, and they go and charge the hotel $5,000, and the owner says $5,000, and you're so expensive. I'm not gonna pay. Okay, we can release the trap. Let's release it. Okay, fine, I'll pay it. They did it, and they became phenomenal. They go and they became like the hit, because they are trapping ghosts and helping people, and I just love that. And I just love that they really became a phenomenal. But Peter Venkman still thinks it's nothing wrong, and since Dana Barrett returns to the apartment, nothing happened, and usually until a possessed force, called Zool, which was actually was actually a terror dog, which was actually worshipped. Was actually Zul was a demigod, a servant. He was a terror dog. Was actually Zul possessed Dana. He grabbed her, choking the ice box in the freezer, and possessed her as Zul. The other one was Louis Talley, and that was Vince Glorto, the Keymaster. The reason was because the building was designed by Ivo Shandor, the ghost buildings architect, who started the original Gozer cult. He was obsessed with demigod, and that's what Egon Spengler finds out. He was an architect who actually did this building, and a supernatural from the other dimension. The Armageddon is gonna be the end of the world. It's gonna hit him, and Louis Talley and Dana Barrett, they live in the same apartment, and they are the key. They are both the key to this Armageddon, to the end of the world. And the only one that can stop it is to do something. But because Walter Peck from Environment Protection Agency, the things they are frauds, and he tries to prove a point. He calls his enforcements. The goddamn person, shut down, cause an explosion. All the ghost escapes. And now the Ghostbusters are arrested. They're out of business, and of course the Zul, the gatekeeper and the keymaster, to open the portal of Zul, the demigod, the Gozer, the demigod. They are causing an event in the building, and there's going to be destruction, Armageddon, end of the world, and Ghostbusters the only one. I forgot to mention Regan Johnson from Die Hard is also in this movie as a cop. And of course they've been released to the mayor and tell them what's going on. They tell them and they convince him that if they can stop it, the mayor's gonna save million voters. So they are released. They go into the building like a badass, all four like a badass they are. They go to the building, they go and fight, they go and fight, they go and they fight, Gozer the Gozerian. They go and fight Gozer the Gozerian on the roof of the building. And they use their proton packs, but they all fly out. So even though they said that they should cross the stream because they were dead. They did cross the stream. They fire and they blow, and they go and of course they cause an explosion, released captured ghosts, Ghostbusters avatar, and they closed, banishing to back the dimension and close the gateway of the Gozerian, the Gozer the Gozerian. They stop this evil. They stop it. And of course, when they try to fire those streams, those live streams, she goes and jumped, and she said they're gonna call a instructor. And of course, I wrote down, if you think something, you're gonna call instruction. And all three, they emptied their heads except Ray. Ray was thinking about Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And of course, they used the streams, and they fire on the Marshmallow Man. And that was definitely my favorite scene in Marshmallow Man. Love the guy. When they fired him, he was climbing the building. That was awesome. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man suit cost $20,000 for each. They used 3 suits. All were destroyed during the filming of this movie. All 3 were destroyed. They paid almost $1 million for the suit at that time in the 80s. But that scene with Marshmallow Man, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, is my favorite scene. Always was my favorite scene. So they saved the world. They prevented the biblical propulsion. They stopped the end of days Armageddon. They stopped it. They saved Dana and Louis, which they're no longer terror dogs now because they turned into terror dogs. They stopped it. They saved the world, and the movie, of course, ends. So that actually was, I already told now the facts. I love this movie to death. Now, the budget for this movie was $30 million, but worldwide was $296 million. It was the most highest grossing movie of the 80s, the 1984, until Home Alone surpassed them. It earned 2 Oscars. For this movie, yes, it was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, which deserved it, 2 Oscars. And with that budget, that time, studio was kind of concerned because it was a big budget. It was the first comedy that needed expensive special effects. Special effects was made by Industrial Light and Magic. By Richard Edlund, just like they were used for Transformers, they were used by Industrial Light and Magic, Richard Edlund, and of course Steve Johnson was special effect for the Onion Red Hot Ghost, later named Slimer. He was the one when he slammed Peter Venkman. But yes, the special effects are awesome, are phenomenal. Patron packs are awesome. Slimer is awesome. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is a fantastic. Definitely my favorite scene when Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is walking and everyone, the monster was scary, everyone is running away. That was well done by Ivan Reitman, and climbs the building and they fire him and he tries to hit, he goes and tries to hit Ray but misses him. I love that scene. The cast already talked about and how the movie was created. The Ecto one was also the car. The Ecto one was a 1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor ambulance, which it had sirens in it. Was awesome. That actually was awesome. Dana was Zul, the gatekeeper, while Louis Taliwer was Vince Clortho, the keymaster, which they're both terror dogs, servant to Gozer the Guzerian. That was awesome. I read that Bill Murray was teasing the Yugoslavian model Slavica Jovan, that he was teasing her, making jokes. Also, when Ray stands has a dream, you see the Playboy, Playboy mate Kimberly Herring. She plays a dream ghost, when Ray is actually ghost and he is dreaming her. So that was awesome. Um, the building the building was actually 55 Central Park West, served as the building climatic butler. The climatic butler is definitely my favorite. In Firehouse Hook and Ladder Company 8 in New York City, Firehouse used for Ghostbusters was actually used for Ghostbusters headquarters. That was Firehouse Hook and Ladder Company 8 in New York City. And yeah, at that time when John Belushi passed away, like I forgot to mention, they hired Harold Ramis, to write a script in New York City to be more realistic. And they were kind of concerned, but this movie was a big hit. It was the most highest grossing movie. It was a big hit at that time. That's why they did a spin-off series animated, which was set as a sequel animated series. The Real Ghostbusters. Also, there was a video game 2009, which Dan Aykroyd in special features on this disc is talking about. How they did, which was served as a third movie instead. Ghostbusters, the game, which I'll say awesome. Now the screenplay, the lines that I love. I love the lines that there's something very important, forgot to tell you. Don't cross the streams, it will be bad. Try to imagine, it will be bad. Try to imagine all life, as you know, it's stopping instant and use only, and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light. I love that. I forgot to mention Alice Drummond from Ace Ventura as librarian, the open scene that she was in this movie. Love the line. Harold Ramis was born November 21st, 1944. February 24th, he died, 2014. Rest in peace, Harold Ramis. I love the lines like, Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. I love that scene. I love that lines. I love the quotes, the lines. Like I said, this one. There's something very important, forgot to tell you, don't cross the streams, it will be bad. Try to imagine all life, all you know, it's stopping instant and instantly, and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light. Egan Spengler. Ray, when someone asks you if you're God, you say yes. I love that scene. This city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. Mr. Mayor, real wrath of God type stuff. 40 years of darkness, earthquake, volcanoes, the dead rising from the grave. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Yes, it's true. This man has no dick. Yes, it's true. This man has no dick. Cats, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. I love that scene there. If there's a steady paycheck, I believe anything you say. I seen shit that'll turn you white. There's a steady paycheck, I believe anything you say. I seen shit that'll turn you into white. Cats, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Yes, it's true. This man has no dick. I love those lines. The screenplay, the lines. I just love those lines. Really fantastic. The city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. Mr. Mayor, real wrath of God type stuff. 40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes, the dead rising from the grave. I love that. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Yes, it's true. This man has no dick. When Peter Venkman says to Walter Peck. William Atherton did a fantastic job as Walter Peck. Dick, Dickless Dick. He did a fantastic job. He was in Die Hard. My God, I love the guy. I miss those kind of movies, that he was that William Atherton was in it, Environmental Protection Agency. It was really, I think he was in the animated series, but it was really a shame that he wasn't in the sequel. William Atherton one day came to Ivan Reitman and he complained that people were calling him dickless and they tried to pick a fight because they disagree with him, what he tried to do to Ghostbusters, because that time Ghostbusters was so popular. They should just realize, fans should just realize, it's just a movie. They need to take it easy on the actor. He didn't do nothing wrong. I also know the women who did Ghostbusters were badly treated. I know the actors were so bullied. I think it was Leslie Jones, the black actor, she was so bullied. No one deserves that. I think that William Atherton and even the female who did Ghostbusters does not deserve to be so mistreated. But that's just kind of my opinion. There's also a song from Ray Parker Jr. did a song. There's a music video with the stars who are in it. Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, Harold Ramis, and Dan Aykroyd. They all in it. I love the music song by Ghostbusters by Ray Parker Jr. I love that song. Was also in the animated series. But there are also the other songs that I wrote down, the other soundtracks that I'm a huge fan by where the hell did I wrote the songs? I know I wrote Saving the Day by Alessi. I love that song. Saving the Day. We got the Saving the Day. I love that song, Saving the Day. And please, do you believe in magic? I love that song by Mick Smiley. I think I don't know exactly the song when I typed it in it, like for 2 minutes. It's not that song when all the ghosts, there's explosion, all ghosts are released, and we have that song, please, do you believe in magic? There's like a ghost who goes in the taxi, becomes a taxi driver, and I just love that song, saving the magic or saving the day. I love the music score by Elmer Bernstein. I love the music score. It was later replaced by Randy. I think it was Randy Edelman. It was replaced in the second movie. But I love the music score by Elmer Bernstein. I really love that. I love his music score. I love the soundtrack Ghostbusters by Ray Parker Jr. I love Saving the Day by Alessia. I love Magic by Mick. I love the songs. I love the lines. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. Yes, it's true. This man has no dick. If it's a steady paycheck, I'll believe anything you say. I've seen shit that will turn into white. I love that stuff. Or, of course, this city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. Mr. Mayor, little wrath of God type stuff. 40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes, dead rising from the grave, dead rising from the grave. I love that. I love the lines. I mean, what a punch. They're awesome. Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis knew what to do. They were awesome. They're awesome. I love Peter Venkman's lines. He wrote, he improvised his outlines. He was awesome. Yes, it's true. This man has no dick. Can I see the facility? You forgot to say no. And why not? You forget to say the magic word. Please. Mercy, please. Oh my God, I love Peter Venkman. He was awesome. I mean, this is my favorite film. As a kid, the second I watched most, but that time was my favorite. But now as an adult, this movie is my favorite. The first one is my favorite. It's a epic masterpiece. Everyone knows it's a masterpiece. I really love this movie to death with a passion. Ivan Reitman was awesome. Everyone that worked in this movie, the special effects, which is the big budget, Industrial Light and Magic, by Richard Englund, they were awesome. It got 2 Academy Awards. It deserves it. Definitely one of the best movies of the 80s. An epic movie. It's an epic classic movie. It's one of my all-time favorites. The first one is always the favorite of mine. I love the second one, but I love this movie to death. I will always watch this movie. I watch this movie now more than the second one because I love this movie more. I love the music score by Elmer Bernstein. I love the music score. Ghostbusters by Ray Parker Jr. I enjoyed that. Saving the Day by Alessia. I love that. Alicia. I love that. Magic by I love the song Magic by by Mick Smiley. Please, do you believe in magic? I just love that song. Saving the Day, the film Saving the Day. I just love the soundtracks which they work. I love their car, that Ecto One, the car. The car. I love actually their car. The Ecto One, their Cadillac, Miller Meteor ambulance. I love their car. And I forgot to mention, but this was definitely already was a 40-year anniversary. And I know that Bill Murray wasn't happy because his movie wasn't such a big hit or because it was a failure. But I never seen Razor's Edge, and I don't care about the film. Sorry, Bill, I don't care. Especially how you treated, Harold Ramis for 20 years, how you treated him. I don't care. He was your friend, and you backstabbed him. They tried. Dan Aykroyd and Harold, they both tried to convince you to do the third movie, and you said, no, I'm done with Ghostbusters. That's what you said. But you came into reboot. You came now in the third sequel after Harold is dead. You donated money to Slovenian vodka. Fuck that. I care about Ghostbusters, and we got a decent sequel that we deserve it with Harold Ramis in it, but now it's too late because the actor's no longer with us. And yes, I love the man. I miss him. I love Stripes. I love Ghostbusters, the original. I love the second one. I don't remember that much about Meatballs and Caddyshack. Groundhog Day, I did not like it. I don't want to say nothing bad because of Harold Ramis, because Harold Ramis put his soul, his heart in the film, but Bill Murray wasn't in it. He was constantly late. He ignored Harold Ramis, until Harold really lost his temper and shoveled Bill Murray in the wall. In that time, he ignored him for 20 years. Even Harold Ramis, before his death, he wrote that he actually was dreamed that they were friends once again, but that never happened until his final hours before his death. Bill Murray showed up. They actually closed that thought, but 20 years they have not spoken. Their relationship ended it when this movie started, Groundhog Day, and that was really sad. And I really do wish that wouldn't happen. But as you know, I love Bill Murray. I love Harold Ramis. I love him to death. I love Dan Aykroyd. If there won't be Dan Aykroyd, there will not be Ghostbusters. This movie will not even exist. Dan Aykroyd was the one that created Ghostbusters. He's the owner, and he is awesome. And I read it that one time ago. He put the quotes: if Bill Murray will not be for Ghostbusters, there's not gonna be a third movie. But then Aykroyd was the one that was fascinated with this movie. And this is the biggest hit. This is the biggest hit. And we got a spin-off. We got video games. 2009 was a video game. Never played the video game. We got animated series. We got the real Ghostbusters. We got Smiler in the Ghostbusters. There was also the Extreme Ghostbusters. And another spin-off was titled Egon in the Ghostbusters. But that animated series was kind of stupid. I didn't like it. Like, there's only Egon and a new generation of Ghostbusters. That kind of was stupid. I didn't care about that show at all. But the first movie and the second movie with the original cast returning are really good. But this is the best one. This is a phenomenal. It's I don't know. I have nothing but praise for this movie. I really wanted to do this review and I did. And once again, I don't have any VHS tape or steelbook or some bootleg to show you, some book with the pictures. I don't have it. I only have this release, and I'm fine with it because I don't have to fulfill my life, with 4K. I don't need that. I'm just happy with this. I'm just happy with this 2009 release. I got it back in 2013 and I'm fine with it. I don't need some better picture quality to watch a film. I'm fine with it. But if I said Sigourney Weaver did a good job as Dina Barrett, she returned the sequel. She was also in Afterlife. I have not seen the movie. If I don't mention the cast in that movie, don't get offended with me. Don't be offended with me. But this scene, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, fantastic. They 3 suits cost them $80,000, $20,000 for each suit. All 3 were damaged and destroyed because they fired the live streams. And that's awesome. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is the best villain in my opinion. Gozer the Gozerian, played by Yugoslavian actress. Slavica Jovan, she did a fantastic job. She was awesome. Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria, or was actually dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Yes, it's true. This man has no dick. If it's a steady paycheck, I'll believe anything you say. I seen shit turn into white. I said shit that will turn into white. Death rising from the grave. 40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes. Mr. Mayor, real rat to God type stuff. The city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportions. Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. There's something very important for God to tell you. Don't cross the streams, it will be bad. Try to imagine all life, all you know, it stops it instantly, and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light. Instantaneously, and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light. Which is awesome. I love the lines. Such a great, cool lines, But it's a phenomenal film. The cast, Ivan Reitman did a great job, but Harold Ramis, Ivan Reitman, and Dan Aykroyd, they all did fantastic job. I also read that Rick Moranis kind of wrote a screenplay, but I don't think so. Maybe he did for his character, but he wasn't, because in the sequel, Louis Stanley, Rick Moranis returns, but in the sequel, he's actually a lawyer. He studied a lawyer when Ghostbusters, they're actually being sued for the damage and property destroying. But like I said, he was the head, he was the mouth, and he was the brains. The Ghostbusters are only three scientists and a civilian. and that will always be Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson. Those are the real Ghostbusters, not those women, and not those kids that we saw. I only saw the trailer. I don't know. I'll see how the movie is going to be. Yeah, but that's going to be my epic review, and of course my favorite of in the franchise. I'm just gonna title my favorite in the franchise. That's my review, epic review, Ghostbusters 1984. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon in a new review. I don't know when I'm gonna review the other films, but I only wanted to do a review for the first movie and show everyone how much I love this movie, how much it means to me. And this is my favorite movie, this is my movie, it's my favorite movie, and I love this movie to death. It's rated PG and it's awesome. If you didn't see Ghostbusters, check it out. Anyway, I'm out. Take care. Peace and bye-bye.